Okay, good evening. Let's start the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting for the city of Balcony Heights on Tuesday, September 17th, 2024 at 6:02 PM. We have calling to order and we have a quorum. Our first business item is approval of minutes held on August 20th, 2024. Do I have a motion to approve the meetings?
Motion to approve.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
All opposed? And no one? The minutes for our meeting held on August 20th, 2024 is approved. Our second item, or our second business item is the commission will hold a public hearing to receive public comments on amending zoning district for property located at 1131 Babcock from O1 low-rise office to MXD mixed use by Robert Espinosa. Do we have anyone here for public comments? Sure.
You get that?
And good evening, commissioners and chairman. Today we're here to present a rezoning amendment request for the property located at 1131 Babcock Road. Next slide. Okay. So this is just to orient you to where the property is located. As you can see where the star is at, it's on Babcock Road, not quite, pretty close to the intersection of Babcock and Hillcrest. And so that's exact where it's located. It's currently zoned O1 low-rise office, and its current use is for an office. And the owner is Robert Espinosa, who is here today and will be following me after this presentation. And again, what he is proposing in the amendment is to requesting that the zoning district change from O1 low-rise office to MXD mixed use for his property at 1131 Babcock Road. These pictures, go back, please. So basically the picture on the left just shows that on the side that his property is located, he's adjacent to other office buildings. And then across the street is a multifamily resident. Specifically, there is the Ascent Apartments. Next slide. To give you a little history of this property, when we did our research, we did find a building permit dated back in 1994 when the property was utilized as the Jamaica Apartments. So we just wanted to point out that one time it was an apartment complex. And then our oldest zoning map where we showed the change where it was rezoned to office was in 2002. So we don't know the exact date when the property was rezoned to office, but we do know in 2002 it was already rezoned to office, which is kind of what it is today. The benefits, next slide. The benefits of rezoning is obviously the lease basis. This gives them the opportunity to rent as a resident and an office space. It aligns with the surrounding land uses. As we pointed out, he is surrounded by office space. In addition, there is apartments across the street. So we already have a mixture of office and multifamily residents. This would help increase the occupancy rates of this property. So again, we want to make sure that the owner can benefit from ensuring that his vacancies are reduced, which of course then benefits the city as well by enhancing the value of his property and the appeal of his property, which of course then brings new people into our city that we hope will continue to patronize all our businesses in our city. So we find that to be a benefit to us all. So based on the benefits of the rezoning, next slide, please. Staff feels that to recommend the approval of the change from O1 low-rise office to MXD mixed use. I believe you had in front of you, we did receive a letter of approval for favor from 1147 Babcock Road. And this person had also talked to us about possibly also doing a mixed use there on their property. So, so again, this may bring additional requests for the same. And at this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over to the owner, Mr. Espinoza. He has his own presentation and give you his opinion why he's requesting this rezoning. Mr. Espinoza?
Good evening. My name's Robert Espinosa. I'm a registered architect. I bought the building back in 1996, and I moved my office there, occupying the second floor. The building's 4,200 square feet, and it was more than I needed for an office space. But my realtor, I told him I'm an architect and didn't want to really get involved in leasing, but he convinced me that if I occupied the second floor and leased the bottom floor, the building would pay for itself while I was there. So that made me a leasing agent by de facto and by the benefit of that. I closed my office after 30 years and moved on to become the university architect at UTSA. And 5 years ago, I retired. And I've always had the building rented, the whole first floor, and while I occupied the second floor. But since COVID, I have had very few calls for office space. There's a trend now to work from home. There's a lot of vacant office spaces downtown, and just a lot of the development that's going on. I don't know if y'all are aware of a place called the Andy. It's across the street from the AT&T Center, or I guess Frost Center now. But it used to be the old Handy Andy warehouse. And they're converting that warehouse into lofts where it's a work and live environment, the integration of office space and living. And so with that, I see the trend that I've had very few calls for office space. The calls I do get is, I guess the building still looks like an apartment building, and my sign out front says office space for lease, and I would get calls and people would ask, how much are your apartments? And I said, well, it's not apartments, they're offices. And so after 5 years at these buildings, the office space on the second floor has been vacant. I decided that maybe I could convert the upper floors to live and work environment. And so that's why I'm here, is that very few calls for the past 5 years. It's been vacant on the second floor, and start advertising it as a apartment or work from home type of environment. So here on this first slide, for the past 5 years, I've been improving the building. I've replaced the 4 air handlers, furnaces, and condensing units, put a new roof on the building. And then just last year, I painted the building. Since I've owned the building, I enclosed the front and put a wood deck in front. It's been used for wine and cheese parties for some of my tenants, or some of the blessings that religious things. When people start their businesses, they have the little events out there, and it's a good place to have a lunch when the weather fall in spring. So so that's the improvements I've done in the front. I put a roof hatch on the building from the inside. When I bought the building, I wanted to see what kind of condition the roof was in. And the only way to get on the roof was a 2-story ladder, or a 30-foot ladder. And it's very dangerous to get up on the ladder. It's it's an angle like this and the roof is angling like this. So you have to climb up on the tile. So inside the second floor stairwell lobby, I installed a roof hatch. So that's a great improvement to access the roof, get to the condensing units on the roof. So I also did a parking, what do you call it? A carport for the parking. This slide here shows the enclosure. I had put a glass block in there, and I've always wanted to light it, but technology finally caught up. And now you can find colored lighting with solar panels. So I didn't have to light it up. I just bought some solar lights. And every time I look at this, at night, I think of the message your mayor said last month, where he wanted to have an eye-catching public installation that reflects our community spirit and creativity. So I figured I've done that for him. So, this is what the building looks like at night. So next slide. Okay, this is like I said, I recently painted. I did a two-tone sage green color below, and then a yellow up above. There's a carport there. I think it's 6 stalls of covered parking. So that's the thing. Okay.
I just wanted to say, I'm sorry, we're having problems with that's why it's flickering on and
Yeah,
off.
I noticed
So
that. Sorry.
sorry about that.
I blinked my eyes at the same time. Okay, so here are the floor plans. The first floor, I've got those offices. The spaces down below there, I'm going to say that they're about 1,000 square feet each, down below 1,000 and 1,000, and then 1,000 and 1,000 on the second floor. What I was able to do on the first floor was divide the space in half down below. And most of the tenants that I have are looking for small offices, kind of like a State Farm insurance agent that he wants his office and then the reception room in the front. So if you can see the floor plan, you can access those two end offices from outside. And then the other two offices, you have to enter the building, and you got entrances there. They both have separate restrooms. And so those suites that are about 500 square feet, they're easy to rent because they're small spaces. So I've hardly ever had any problem renting them. They're easy accessible from the parking lot. And so the second floor is what I used to occupy as my architect's office. I occupied the whole floor. And so if I were to turn those into apartments, it'd be 2 apartments. Right now, one of them, the space on the left, is really ready to go. It has a bathtub, shower, and a kitchen. I never removed them. It was kind of the infrastructure you want to leave. And what I did with the bathtub is I just put a plywood sheet over it and then put filing cabinets on top so I could utilize the square footage of the thing. On the right side, the suite 250 or suite 275, that one looks more like an office. There used to be a shower, and I removed the shower and put in some cabinets, but I left again the infrastructure, the plumbing, so that if ever I wanted to go back, it still was inside the walls. So right now my plan is really to still try and rent it out as an office space, but the unit on the left side is really ready to go as more office or apartment. So next slide. Okay, here's the front enclosure that I did. I enclosed the front. It used to have it has a front entrance, but we park in the back, and the parking's in the back, so we all access it from the back. And there was no need to come through the front. So what I did was I enclosed the glass block, have a gate at the side, and put this wood deck for everybody to use at lunch. And I've always thought that if this building were in New York, every square footage is always used. And so it was just a front door that was always locked. And one of the first things I did as an architect, I said, okay, I'm gonna close it and make it usable. And so I've got these little, what do you call it, picnic tables out there for lunch. And as you can see, they have, it's got the patios and each unit's got balconies on the second floor there. And inside this unit that is ready to go as an apartment, this is the kitchen. For our offices, it was a coffee area. It's got a sink, and it was a refrigerator that we had there, and so we renovated that, and that was our office for our office space. And this is the bathtub that I had mentioned that still remains, and the toilet and the sink. So all of the amenities for a apartment it's ready to go kind of thing. So this is the living area, or what would be a living area. It was my reception area. Thank you. That's I never realized why people drank water. Yeah, this is could be the living room for the apartment, but it was my office space or the reception for my office. It was just a nice, smooth, soothing colors that we had as architects. We put our finishes together, and the furniture that we had was all kind of very nice looking. I've had people look at it and ask me if I'm willing to sell my furniture, but it goes so well with that room. Hate to leave it. So, okay, so, all right. So, again, more shots of the living room, and it's got a fireplace. I've never used it. I probably will not let anybody use it. I'm not sure how safe it is, or because of the fluting there. So it's just more of a decorative thing. It's the only unit that has a fireplace. So with that let's see. So in the end, as I just said, that this building is well suited for a work-life environment. So ideally, I want to rent to somebody that wants to work from here, from this office upstairs. My tenants below know what I'm doing. As a matter of fact, they kind of have like the idea that they see that it's vacant upstairs, and somebody at least would be there at night for the security part of it. So no one's opposed to having somebody live up there. It's probably want to rent to some professional people. No kids. It's not a very good environment for children. So I think when I put it up for lease, that's probably some of the things that I'll say, that it's really a office environment for anybody that's interested in leasing the space. So, okay. That's it. Mhm.
Thank you, sir.
Mhm.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Is there any other comments?
Yeah, I was gonna ask him how many apartments was he going to have? What would be the total amount?
Mr. Chairman.
Just two?
One is ready to go. The other one, I would have to do some modifications to it. So I'll probably still try and lease it as office.
Okay.
Okay, so 2 maximum.
Maximum.
If we can just open the public hearing and mark the time, and then if no one's here to sign up, you can close it and mark the time. And then y'all have an item 3 where if you have any questions for the applicant, discuss amongst yourselves.
Okay. So we'll open up for public comments at 6:21. Does anyone else have any questions? Nope. Oh,
The public hearing is really just a chance for the public to come and give like a one-way communication to y'all. But if there's no one here, then you can.
oh, yeah. I'm sorry, I just meant about Mr. Espinosa's submittal. Any questions on that? Okay, so the next item the commission will consider, do I have to close something? I opened. Okay, no public comments on that. So we will close that comment at 6:22. So, section 3, the commission will consider and take action on the request submitted by Robert Espinosa for property located at 1131 Babcock. Is there a motion to approve?
A motion to approve.
Have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion is approved. The next item, citizens to be heard at this time. Citizens who have filled out a registration form prior to the start of the meeting may speak on any topic they wish to bring to the attention of the governing body.
There is none.
There is none. Okay. Then I move for adjournments. A motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I hear a second.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Okay, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.